What's up, my little tattletales? How y'all doing today? Well, you are Jennifer Lopez, baby. You need counseling. You need therapy. Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Lopez has Stockholm syndrome. She has convinced herself that she is in love with her tormentor. You guys, she did a bombshell interview with Harper Bazaar, Apple Music, that says so much. And you guys, I'm really worried about her. And this isn't even me dragging Ben. I'm really worried about her. Listen to this mess. Jennifer Lopez says she felt like she was going to die after breakup with Ben Affleck. Once we called off that wedding 20 years ago, it was the biggest heartbreak of my life. And I'm going to take you through this article, but just to let you know, she said that after her and Ben broke up, it sent her into a spiral for 18 years. A bad decision. She couldn't eat. Jennifer, you guys, why do I consider this Stockholm syndrome? This man, while they were together, fell in love with Jennifer Garner. They broke up in 2003. He said he fell in love with Jennifer Garner on 2002 on the set of Daredevil. But there's more than that, right? Think about it. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck were harassed by paparazzi, but there was a racist tone to it. They thought that this Latino harlot couldn't be with Ben Affleck. Back then, he was up here. And you know, there was a lot of racism, and I think that racism really, really stuck with Jennifer. I think that's why she's so intent on being acknowledged in the Ben Affleck circles. But there's more than that. You guys, Ben treated her horribly. How are you saying that a man that when you broke up, he broke off the wedding, he broke it off last minute, that when he left you and crushed your soul, you couldn't move on? Not only that, he let the media go crazy on you afterwards, all because of his career. He had one failed movie that wasn't a success. He blamed you, said this, said that, blah, 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 blah. Never mind the same movie he starred in with Jennifer Affleck that he let become his wife, right? He never said a word about that. They had two failed movies, as a matter of fact. It was cool with him. The fact that Jennifer doesn't see this, and the fact that you're looking at this as this happy ending after 20 years, Ben used to be like this. He was Hollywood royalty. His own addiction, his own personality, everything made him come down. This man came to you when his career was washed up. This man came to you when even 20-year-olds on Raya, the app, was dogging him out, talking about, ew, get out of here, grandpa, skedaddle, get. This man came to you when his Cuban girlfriend, Anna, literally would not give up her hopes of having a family and moving outside of LA, and she left him. This man came to you when his wife left him. This man came to you when his career needed to be built up. And now he's using you to build up his career, to get him good when he always threw you under the bus. This is actually really, really sad that she literally, let's get into this, okay? Hit that like, subscribe, comment button, because y'all, this is sad. Jennifer Lopez got real about the heartbreak she endured after calling off her engagement to Ben Affleck more than 20 years ago. In a new interview with Zane Lowe, he's actually really good, for Apple Music, J-Lo reflects on the 20th anniversary of her groundbreaking third studio album, This Is Me, which documented the epic and highly scrutinized relationship with Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was the one that threw you under the bus and let the media feast off of you because he had one failed movie with you. At least that's the excuse he gave you, because like I said, with Jennifer Garner, they had two failed movies and he still made that woman his wife and had kids with her. He came to you when he was at the bottom of his career and you're breathing life into his sorry self. This is not, there's a lot of reasons why Ben and Jen aren't going to work. At the end of the day, Ben traumatized Jen 20 years ago, and she's still trying to prove that she is worthy and that he loves them. Ben is a user, you guys. He is using J-Lo. He is selfish. And when he's done sucking everything he can from her, he's going to discard her. Get this. On the upcoming album, This Is Me Now, once again honors her romance with the Oscar-winning actor, highlighting the reunion and marriage 2 decades after they broke up. Listen to how sick this sounds. She said the album, This Is Me Then, really captured a moment in time where I fell in love with the love of my life. It's all just right there on the record, and I didn't even realize what was happening or what I was doing. It was just every day going from set to the recording studio, doing the things, being in love, him coming to the studio. When I listen to the lyrics now, I didn't even realize that I was writing some of our story that would happen, which is sick. I didn't even realize it was kind of prophetic. Again, she recalled refusing to perform songs from the album after their breakup. I wouldn't even perform these records. It was so painful after we broke up. Once we called off that wedding 20 years ago, it was the biggest heartbreak of my life. And I honestly felt like I was going to die. It sent me on a spiral for the next 18 years where I couldn't get it right. But now, 20 years later, it does have a happy ending. You didn't break your wedding off. We remember it. Ben broke up with you, and then you saved face. But it wasn't just the wedding. It's the way Ben broke up with you. It's the way he attacked you. It's the way he did interview after interview, blaming you for ruining his career. When people are saying he was getting to Hollywood, he did mea culpas, trying to be like, literally blamed you for the direction he chose. It was actually really pathetic and sad. I can't believe that she even gave him a second chance. But the fact that she was so desperate for his love. And again, you guys can be like, you guys, no. To be that desperate for someone's love that you overlook the ways that they were the ones that hurt you. There was no outside forces pushing you guys apart. Ben was the one. Ben didn't want to be with you because for all the excuses he gave you when he was with Garner. What did he say? I left you because of the failed movies. And it didn't matter when it was with Garner. It was 2, and he gave her 3 children. When it was with Ana de Armas, or the girl that starred in Blonde, he was happy with the paparazzi. He was happy to do paparazzi strolls. He was happy to help boost her career. But with you, Jennifer Lopez, grumpy. Why are we doing this? Let me tell you something. Jennifer still looks at Ben like a prize. You literally married a man that was being clowned by 20-year-olds on Rhea when he had no one else, and when no one else wanted you, and when you were the highest profile person that would take him and love him and kiss his feet. Then he came to you. Y'all, this isn't going to end well. Anyway, she went on a spiral for 18 years. You're trying to say that all the bad relationships you've been in was because this man rejected you and you ran back to this man as soon as he wrote you a love letter with no accountability? And he still wants you to dim your light because you're not allowed to do too many paparazzi strolls. You're not allowed to dress too flamboyantly. You're not allowed to be the person you want to be with him. As a contingency for being, I can't. Jennifer, get off the floor. Oh, like this is, she said, but now 20 years later, it does have a happy ending. It has the most would never happen in Hollywood ending. They would be like, that would never happen because nobody would believe it. She said, Ben even questioned why she didn't perform songs from This Is Me then, once the two rekindled their relationship. She said, it's funny, because when me and Ben got back together, he said to me, you never performed the songs? And she said, it was a part of me then that I had to put away to kind of move on and survive. It was a survival tactic for me. This man ripped apart her heart that much. Wow. And it's wild because he hasn't changed. He's the same person. He's the same person. And he's doing the same thing he did. He had you in love with him and left you just like that. Now get this. She said the couple initially parted ways due to the external pressure that the media and public placed on their relationship. She said it destroyed us. That was part of what destroyed us. You mean the media attention that Ben at first loved, but then when his friends were laughing at him, and then when the Hollywood started talking about him being with a loose, wild, wayward Latino woman, I remember the industry racism that happened. Now being Latina is it. Now Sofia Vergara is respected, but I remember when it was not like that. And they were saying a bunch of racist tropes about J-Lo. And Ben was embarrassed to be with you. He was ashamed. He didn't love you. He was embarrassed to stand next to you. And his love for you, it wasn't there, or it couldn't test the time. What does it say when a man cannot stand behind you and protect you from the world? What does it say for a woman that has to give interview after interview after interview, shouting your love from the top of the hills while he stays mute? She said it destroyed us. That was part of what destroyed us, was the outside energy that was coming out of us. No, Ben just didn't love you enough to defend you from it. We loved each other. It was hard. It felt at times unfair, but neither one of us is that person to be like, woe is me. So we were like, well, we just got to dust it off and keep it moving. Ben did a million interviews back then dragging you and blaming you for the destruction of his career. What are you talking about? The fact that he probably wrote this stuff in a letter and had her thinking this, Jennifer literally does need to go to counseling. She needs to learn, I don't know. Anyway, she said, and I think in the weirdest way, that it motivated both of us to then become and do things that we wound up doing, which is kind of go into hyper gear. He went into hyper gear, I went into hyper gear, but not together. We had to do it separately. Jennifer Garner built Ben Affleck up. Jennifer Garner kept him sober. Jennifer Garner kept him focused. And the minute she stepped away and said, I'm sick of it, you cheated on me with the nanny, you did this, you did that, and all the other things, she left you. And you sunk down and you were a laughing stock even on Raya, that dating app for celebrities. You guys, she said, we had to do it separately. He didn't do it separately. He did it with his wife. He did it with his wife. And when his wife was tired of his selfish ways, right? She dumped him. You guys didn't do it separately. Anyway, Jennifer told Lo that she feels most inspired to write and make music when she's happy in love, which is why she returned to the studio to record her latest album. When he came back into my life again, because he just wrote her a few letters, again, the same thing happened, where I felt so inspired and so overtaken with emotion that it was just pouring out of me. When I feel good, I write music. And I wrote music and I got in the studio in like May. And by August, when we got married, it was done. You guys, this is so sad. This is so sad that Jennifer lost so much of herself in that selfish, like he has so many vices in that, but his biggest one is in that selfish, self-entitled love. Man that was embarrassed of her and refused to stand by her side, refused to protect her. And when the Hollywood mob was busy laughing at her and letting her know she's the biggest outcast, you didn't even just join them, you went and spearheaded it. I find it disgusting who Ben Affleck is in a person, and it's so sad that J-Lo just admitted that that relationship, she did not love herself and she never rebounded from that bit, and she is trying to heal what happened 20 years ago. But that's the thing with, you know, people can grow and people can change, but your core nature, whether you have character, whether you stand behind someone that you're embarrassed of, you guys, Ben is who he is, and he came to Jennifer when he was at his lowest, and she's pouring all her love in him. And as soon as he's done drinking all that, he'll move on to the next day. You guys, we really honestly need to come together and pray for Jennifer Lopez, because baby, this isn't good. It's not good. It's not good. It's not good. There, I said what I said. Anyway, my little tattletales, let me know what you think in the comments. Pray for Jennifer. I actually feel sad about the fact that we all know what Ben's about to do. Pray for Jennifer, y'all, and I will talk to you later.